Yeah, this is the warm-up with me, Charlie Baker, and Barry Glendenning, and you join us on the back of the very sad news that has just broken this morning that Ricky Hatton, the beloved British boxing legend, has tragically passed away at the age of 46. His body was discovered at his home in Manchester this morning, and Greater Manchester Police have confirmed the death is not being treated as suspicious. And Barry, he was one of those boxers who had mass appeal, had blue-collar appeal. I think he always gave everything for his fans. His fans would always turn up wherever he was, and that grew and grew and grew. And he'll be remembered, I think, more than just a boxer, a symbol of determination, resilience, and a working-class spirit.
Yeah, well, he was born in Manchester, still living in Manchester. Very popular lad. Had his demons, which he was always happy to talk about. He had mental health issues, he had addiction issues, and it was a bit of a troubled soul. And this is one of those bits of news that sort of blindsides
knocks you sideways. Yeah. Let's bring in one of his friends and colleagues. Spencer Oliver is with us, talkSPORT's boxing correspondent. Spencer's, such sad news. I'm sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah, guys, shocking news, really is. I've just literally walked through the door. I was doing a show for the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel last night up in Cannock. Literally walked through the door to find this news, and very sad, very sad. Ricky was a great fighter, that had a 15-year career, over 48 fights, and no one had the fan base that Ricky Hatton had. He had 20,000 people traveling over to Las Vegas when he boxed Floyd Mayweather back in 2007, and he had a glittering career. He really did, only losing 3 of those 48 fights, and they were to the best. A real sad loss, and it's a real sad loss. He's a beautiful guy, and my condolences go out to Ricky's family, at this time, but very, very sad news.
32 knockouts within those 48 fights. Tell us how great he was as a boxer, Spencer.
He was an incredible guy, like you guys said, he's a working class guy. He won the ABAs as a young kid at 18 years of age, and we always knew that he was a star in the making. I won Best Boxer of the Year in 1997. Ricky won it in 1998. And when he turned professional, he knew he was going to go places, and he'd become a 2-weight world champion, and he boxed and beat the best. And people loved him for who he was. He was a real person, and people loved that. They respected that. And he, like I say, he had the fan base that no other fighter has ever had from Britain. Ricky Hatton will go down as a British icon, a British boxing legend for sure. And he'll be sorely missed, because outside of boxing, he was a beautiful human being. And as you guys have already highlighted, he did have his demons. He struggled with life after boxing. Yeah. Depression was a big thing. Mental health is a big thing.
But he was a huge advocate for that, wasn't he, as well, in talking about your problems?
He really is. And that word is thrown around way too much, by the way. Certain things happen to people when they pull out the mental health card. Mm-hmm. Well, Ricky Hatton was that guy, and we saw that, through his life. He had a troubled life after boxing. He could never really come to terms with life after boxing. He had he had a beautiful life outside of that, but it wasn't enough. Boxing was really, a big part of that he missed and couldn't get over. So, yeah, I'm just
It's tough, Spencer. I understand it's your friend, and so it's tough for you to talk about. So don't let us push you at all on this. I just wanted to, looking at his fight record, he was fearless. He'd take anybody on. He fought the best: Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and he of course beat Kostya Tszyu to claim his WBA light welterweight title. These aren't soft men. You have to have a certain strong mentality and back yourself in the ring to be able to go in with these guys.
You really do. Like Ricky Hatton, when he beat Kostya Tszyu at the MEN Arena up in Manchester in 2005, I actually picked Frank Bruno up on the way up there, actually. We was going up to work on that fight, to commentate on that fight. And that was the night when Ricky Hatton really become a global star, because he wasn't meant to win that fight. Kostya Tszyu at that time was known as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And Ricky went there. He was a WBU champion, was not really a recognised world title. He defended that a few times, and he thought this was a step too far, a bridge too far for Ricky. But boy, did he show courage in that. He showed character in that, and he pulled off a memorable victory, one of the best victories I've ever seen in a British ring for sure. And the crowd there that night were absolutely incredible. And I think Ricky's fan base grew from then. And it's just such a sad loss.
It's sad, isn't it? It's a British great, and a big Man City fan as well, Baz. And it's the Manchester derby today. I'm sure that they'll mark it in some sort of way there.
One imagines they will, and there will be people going to that game who are good friends with Ricky Hatton, who will be dazed, confused, sad, like Spencer clearly is.
Yeah.
And all you can do is wish them well, because I've had experience of this in recent weeks, not personally finding a friend, but having to call the police to arrange a welfare check. It's quite a grim thing to have to go through, and I wish just everyone connected with Ricky all the very, very best.
Yep, Spencer. I think it's quite tough for you. I'm gonna let you go if you'd like to go. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, guys. And my condolences go out to Ricky Hatton's family at this very sad time.
Spencer Oliver there, our talkSPORT boxing correspondent, on the very sad news that's just breaking that Ricky Hatton has died at the age of 46. What are your memories of Ricky Hatton, watching him box? Quite showbiz outside of the ring. If you'd like to give us a call, we'll take your calls on this, because he was for the fans. That's what I remember.
He was incredibly popular.
Incredibly popular. I'm just going to give out the phone number so people can call us, Baz, and then 03717 2233 44, 03717 2233 44. Call in on the very sad news that Ricky Hatton has died this morning, just been found at the age of 46. But give us your memories of Ricky Hatton in the ring or outside the ring. Maybe you met him somewhere. Okay, this is talkSPORT. Charlie Baker and Barry Glendenning.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.